Welcome to another episode of Jay's Book Club. Actually, Jay's Video Club today, because this is not technically a book. We're here with Arron Johnson. He's the owner and proprietor of Badass Racing, right?
Yes.
We never heard of them. That's okay, because they're a small shop out of where?
Oh, Sonoma, California.
It's Sonoma, California. You know, here on the website, we try to promote American businesses, the smaller the better, and we try to help people get the word out. And he's done something I think is really good, because one thing we get on this website is we get a lot of questions, especially from younger people who maybe their dad was not really good with tools. They like cars, they like motorcycles, they like engines, but they never had anybody really to teach them or be their mentor. And Arron's put out a bunch of videos. I mean, how many do you have here? There's quite
We've
a
got
few.
6 titles right now: engine building, rotating assemblies, nitrous oxide, superchargers.
Because let's face it, we all have huge gaps in our automotive knowledge. You know, a lot of times on the website, I'll get kids right in. I love turbo cars. What is a turbo? Is that a dumb question? Well, there really is no dumb question. If you don't know, you don't know. And these videos can help guide you through that. Because, you know, when I was a kid, I was a little dyslexic, and reading technical manuals was always confusing to
I'm
me.
the same way.
But when I see it taken apart and put, oh, I see what that is now. Oh, I get it.
Guys are visual. We got to
Yeah.
see it. We can't
Yeah.
just read it.
I remember when I was a kid, I'd read the English manual that said, get a set of spanners. And I go, spanners? Well, I only have wrenches. I don't know what spanners are. Well,
What's
of
a
course,
spanner?
spanners are wrenches. And then they would see clean things in paraffin. Well, in England, paraffin is kerosene. Here, paraffin is melted candles.
wax.
I mean, I'm melting candles trying to figure, how does this clean anything? You know, so it's good when you can see it exactly how it's done. How did this all come to be? Explain.
Well, at the shop, you know, we've been building motors and race cars and stuff since the 70s. And what's happened is guys come in and they go, hey, Arron, how do I learn about this stuff? Where can I go? There's rarely an auto shop program anymore in schools.
Right.
So that kind of pulls the younger generation, our next generation that's going to follow us. Where do they get a start? So you got a choice of some outdated books or a real expensive trade school.
Right.
Where's the in-between?
Right.
So I thought, you know, I can get in front of a camera and talk. You know, if there's something that I can explain, I thought, well, why don't we just get some cameras, some lighting. We'll do it right in the shop, show people how to do it, and in super detail, not just a glazed over. Here's how we build a motor, and 15 minutes later it's built.
Right.
These are 3 to 5 hours in length, and it's really nitty-gritty, so the guy can go, wow, I totally understand. I can do that in my own garage.
And you can stop and go back, you know.
Absolutely.
I sometimes get annoyed at a lot of these custom tuner and builder shows because, like you say, they build a car in a week.
Right.
And a lot of times they don't even build a car. They just put a giant TV screen in the back seat or something. But, you know.
It still smokes and
yeah,
runs
there
terrible.
are so many little things to learn. You have, like, here's one on nitrous oxide.
Right.
Now, everybody knows nitrous makes your car go faster. But why does it? Tell us why it makes your car go faster.
Nitrous is really cool. It's an oxidizer. It's a chemical supercharger. And contrary to what people have heard, they blame the nitrous. Oh, nitrous melted my friend's engine down. Nitrous didn't melt your friend's engine down. It's like looking at a 6-pack of beer. If you drink the whole 6-pack, you're probably going to get overly drunk.
Right.
You can just have one.
Right.
Nitrous is the same way. The word moderation.
Right.
If you just use it in moderation, it works fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best bang for the buck power adders there is. And all it does is add oxygen so you can burn more fuel. Burn more fuel, make more horsepower.
And this, obviously, this DVD will tell you how to do that.
Absolutely, in really good detail. And this is designed for the guy that has 0 experience in this type of stuff, where you can go, look, I need to start from square one.
Right.
What is nitrous? What do the kits look like? So I take everybody through just basic steps, show them kits, show them how it works, how the jetting works, what kind of carburetors, what kind of motors to do, even tuning and stuff, how to read spark plugs.
Right.
They're really detailed so a guy can get a kit and not have issues and go, wow, I'm having fun with this, instead of, oop, I had a catastrophe.
Suppose you're 17, 18-year-old, you're in high school, you want to get started. Which one of these videos, I guess you could buy the whole set.
The power pack is really cool. That's what that's
at.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. But really, if you're interested in building engines, I'd suggest, you know, engine building, which is a 3-disc 5-hour set.
That's this one right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a real deal. And what I did with this is just not on engine building. It's not like how to build a small block Ford or a small block Chevy. What I did was I said, look, you know, in our shop, we don't say, people don't come up and say, hey, can you build a small block Chevy? They just say, hey, Arron, build me something wild, and I want it to be X amount of cubic inches.
Right, right.
So what I did was, rather than how to build this particular motor or that particular motor, I did a side-by-side build of a bone stock small block Chevy and a performance small block Ford to show all the similarities and all the differences.
Right.
And so it's not brand specific, because what's a motor's a motor.
And here's one on supercharging as well.
Yes,
Same
superchargers. Yeah, great power adder, on demand 24/7. And again, something that if you keep it in moderation, keep the boost in moderation, you know, you want to go out and put 20 pounds of boost to a stock motor, you blow the crank out the bottom.
All the old wives' tales about blowers will finally be put to rest. Now, what are the old wives' tales? You know, I know a lot of old wives. I've never heard them talk about.
I've never seen one with a tail.
Yeah, and I've never seen them talk about superchargers. What are some of the myths about superchargers?
Well, some of the myths and stuff, you know, is you know, you can't run a blower on the street.
Right.
You know, oh, they're dangerous and stuff. And it's like, they're not dangerous. You know, they got pop-off valves or backfire valves to let out pressure if you have a spit through the carburetor, if you lean it out and get what's called a lean pop. There's a lot of little issues like that. You have to run special carburetors. You don't need to run special carburetors.
Right.
You know, just a standard, typical carburetor up on top work. But you got to keep in mind there's multiple types of superchargers. There's roots blowers, which pull through the carburetor and force it into the motor. There's centrifugal blowers.
Where does that come from, roots blowers?
Roots blowers, I do know that. I have it in there, as a matter of fact.
Connersville, Indiana?
Well, I saw a blower. There's even footage of there. We were in Virginia City going into a mine tour, and I look over and I go, I was talking to my wife, and I said, oh, my God, there's the world's largest blower right there.
That's right. The Roots brothers out of Connersville, Indiana, they initially developed it to help grind wheat.
Oh.
That's what it's for. And they developed this impeller system, and they noticed that when they spun it, it was blowing the guy's hat off. And they thought, wow. And they originally developed them to blow air down into the mine.
That's exactly where I saw it, out in front of a mine in Virginia City.
Exactly. Yeah. So then it was later adapted to automobiles. But the Roots company is still in Indiana, so they're still around.
Wow.
So all this stuff goes
Absolutely.
way back. Do you deal with turbocharging as well, or just
there's a little bit on turbos in there, but we mostly cover supercharging on that one, whether it's a centrifugal, like a Vortec or a Paxton-style supercharger, or a ProCharger, and then into roots blowers, like blower drive service, Wyand, that type of a thing, where you see the big blower sticking out of the hood.
Okay, now you can buy these individually.
Yes.
Or what? And this is all of them
That's
together?
a power pack. That's a 5-pack, and it's priced for people. You get one free. So basically, you buy 4, you get the one free in there.
And where would they go to get this? Your website?
What is your
website address?
Everybody carries these things. On our website, it's autoshopvideos.com. But they're also available in, I mean, lots of mail order houses, lots of speed shops and stuff carry these also.
Well, I think it's really great. I mean, like I say, there's a lot of you out there, and we here at the shop, we don't know everything, you know. The more knowledge you have, the better. And if you want to get started and you want to know a little bit more about engines and how they work and how to put them together, this is a good way to do it. I think it's great. It's a small company. It's an American company, and I think you're doing a real service. Arron, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks for having me on.